everyone, this is Psychic Insight for those in love with Cancerians and obviously for Cancerians themselves. I'm gonna make it easier for you all to find it by changing the titles of the videos. So let's see what I'm guided to let you know about Cancerians for the month of March, what they are thinking about, what it's going on in their life, what their focus is, if relationship at all or not. And obviously at the end I'm going to ask specific if there is any specific guidance you need to know in respect of your relationship or potential relationship with them. So Cancerians seem to overcome some emotional obstacles they had. They were not so much in real life as they were in their mind. They felt they were not getting what they want. So finally Cancerians will get to feel like, yes, things are moving in the right direction and they are winning. But that happens through a shift in how they feel, because as I said, a lot of it is down to what they were thinking and the story they were telling themselves. And to be fair, not focusing on the positive. They tend, I believe, sometimes to be a bit negative from what I know them. Whether they realize that or not, perhaps you can, if you are on talking terms with them, you may plant that seed, because it's important they change that, and you will see how they shift anyway, which is very important. And if you are a Cancerian, please don't take it as criticism. Is something that is important for you to pay attention to and to overcome, because you will be the one benefiting from it. Also, they need to know that whatever worries they have in respect, even if they are not aware of it yet, because this can be future prediction actually, so something that is still to come, not something that is already present in their energy field. So whatever worries there may be with in respect of property, assets, house, move, or decorating, buying anything important in the house, or anything to do with living arrangement, is going to actually have a positive outcome. They may be a bit worried because also they don't like change much, Cancerians. Not well, of course it depends on everyone's chart, birth chart, but generally speaking, they like to know things being in a certain way. So they would be a bit disappointed thinking about the fact that again changes have to happen, but they need to know that this time they don't have anything to worry about. Also, for another set of Cancerians, I feel that they went through some changes, emotional changes. I believe their life has changed, and that is emotionally, relationship wise, and that happened to a certain degree because they were concerned about something to do with property as well, whether on a personal level or professional level. So at some point I feel they made some decisions based on what was going on financially in their life, and they had the fear, and that sort of pushed them towards making a decision. And they kind of worried about being deceived, but if they would have been patient enough, they would have seen that there was no deceit there. Or let me see whether yeah, it was all in their mind, and the truth would have come out. So it was a matter of waiting for the truth to be spoken. So there was deceit, if you like, in the sense of not everything being out in the open, not being spoken about. But that would have happened eventually, so it was a matter of timing. And as we know, as people who like to be guided by above, there is a divine timing for everything. Something else that seems to come up for Cancerians is good communication in respect of relationships. So they do seem to actually focus on their personal life in the month of March to a certain degree. The main theme, I believe, for them is shifting in emotions and how they feel, and how that will obviously change how they think as well. But they will be open to communicate, I believe, to communicate about the success of their relationship. So they will not keep quiet anymore, and they will overcome fears and regrets over past decisions. So let's see if there is something in particular that you need to know if you are hopeful of getting in a relationship with Cancerians, because if you are in a relationship with them, you should know them by now, and everything I have explained to you should help you understand what is going on with them anyway. So let's see if you aren't yet in a relationship, or just a fresh one, or hopeful of being in a relationship with them. Let's see what you need to know. You do worry about something from the past, and about something official. So this could affect a set of Cancerians who are divorced, or a set of Cancerians who have a official legal kind of connection to deal with from the past, and you seem to be concerned about that, how it's going to change things for them and for you at the same time, especially financially. I've seen this actually, I have to say, it came up a lot in February's reading as well for Cancerians. Official matters, legal aspects. So they need to just pay attention. And I actually have here Virgo barging in, just like Gemini's did when I started the readings for March. And I feel that is to do with Mercury turning retrograde in Aries soon, towards end of March that's going to be. And because Virgos and Geminis are both governed by Mercury, they are trying to give us some messages. So I suppose the connection is, and I left everything here for Virgos because I'm going to look at them obviously next, but I also felt there may be a connection between them coming up so strongly and the reading for Cancerians, and now it makes sense. So what we need to pay attention to as Cancerians, or people who live with them or are hoping of a relationship with them, especially again if you are on talking terms and not just have some sort of crush and on them, and are not that close, that before Mercury turns direct, and I have checked that for Gemini reading, I'm going to put it in the link. I can't remember when it happens, that Mercury turns direct. Until then, if Cancerians have anything to sign, anything legal, official to sign, it's very important that they pay attention to the small print. So be careful. Ideally, you should avoid signing papers, but if you have to, just be careful and make sure you understand exactly, and if not, just get help, because you might need, this can also be that it's ideal for you to get some advice rather than doing things on your own. And also, let me see if I get anything else for those who aren't really in a relationship, because that would, yeah, so they are facing again, the Cancerians energy came up. So they have, although relationship is important for them in their mind and heart, there are things that they need to be aware of, because I feel they are not yet, or yeah, it seems not to be in their energy field at awareness level, conscious level, but more kind of hidden and coming up. So very important for Cancerians. They seem to have to deal with something legal official in order to get some money, and it's looking good. I'm not seeing anything negative. I'm just saying that it's important until Mercury turns direct that they pay attention to everything that's being said, everything that has to be signed. So very positive for Cancerians overall, and I feel it's positive to a certain degree if you are in a relationship with them, because you will get straight communication. Perhaps the warning for you is that they will be a bit to the point, maybe not quite as, you won't hear what you would like to hear. I'm not seeing really breakups of any sort, but I'm seeing things being done in a certain way, perhaps different way, so that this is going to be quite long, I'm worried, so that success is guaranteed. So let's ask again. This all had to come out. I was asking about people who are hopeful of getting in a relationship with them or improving their relationship with Cancerians, and this came out, and I feel this is for them to know rather than for you, the person who are in love. Well, it's good for you to know as well, because that will explain their behavior and attitude for you. But let's see if we get now something specific for you. So communication is key, keeping it clear, and making sure truth is being said. Also, another set of Cancerians might have had some health issues, or be concerned about health issues. They didn't necessarily have been unwell, but they could have. However, I feel that there will be communication about that, and you need to know that when they are not well or feel like that, because again, it doesn't matter whether it's a physical ailment as such or the way they feel. If they feel unwell, they feel unwell. It doesn't have to be something that the doctor can diagnose as an illness in the physical body. So there will be communication about that, and you need to know that for them, when they are unwell, they need peace of mind. Sometimes that means being on their own, sometimes it means getting more attention than usual, and people that are in their life kind of trying to show them the support. It's not that they ask for it, but they need it to lift them emotionally, and would be obviously recommended that they get it from the person that cares about them, and the person they care about. So again, let's see what else you can get if you are only hopeful about getting in a relationship with a Cancerian person. I feel they have been through a sudden separation, something that in a way they expected, but in the same time they didn't particularly want to happen. They did not want to have to make that choice, but they felt they had to make that choice because it was best for the future. So perhaps not ready yet for new relationships. Okay, so what I can say, if you're not in a relationship with them and just hopeful to be in a relationship with them, you have to prove yourself. You have to show that you are a grounded person, someone they can rely on, and have reached a certain level of success yourself. They are not willing to take on somebody who needs a lot of I wouldn't say babysitting or support, but they want somebody that's on, let's say, on the same level with them. So try to assess, with all the information that you've been given and all the information that you already have, try to assess whether you would be a good match, because, and be very honest with yourself, because if it's not a leveled type of match, and if it's not a balanced exchange of energy and emotions, I don't feel that you should worry about getting into a relationship with them. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just recommending that you are being very honest with yourself first and foremost, and see whether you can match their level in every area of life, whether it's maturity, personal development, financial stability, professional success, emotional intelligence, whatever it is. Look at each of them and make sure that you are on the same level, because otherwise it's best not to even go there. Don't waste your time, unless you feel you can do that, and then it won't be a waste of time, obviously. So I hope this helps. I will ask if this applies for both women and men. Yes, it does. But if there is something specific for women, I feel that they block, and they feel blocked from having the kind of relationship they want because of the man they have looked at. So I suppose what is spoken about, leveled kind of match, and good exchange of emotion and energy, feelings, applies to Cancerians themselves as well, not to just not only to people who want to be with them or are in a relationship with them. So this applies very well to them as well. They have to be very actually no, they don't have to, they are already very aware that in order for them to have the relationship they want, they need everything that I have mentioned earlier. So there you go. A lot about Cancerians, and a lot for you to take in if you are in love with a Cancerian person. Until next time, be loved and be happy.